received some really thought-provoking material from you about, well, how we all try to make sense of truth and reality these days. It includes this fascinating essay, The Dance of Truth, a Baha'i vision. And it touches on such a common feeling, right? Trying to cut through all the noise and figure out what's what.
It really is a challenge. Information overload, conflicting narratives. It's easy to feel a bit lost.
Absolutely. So today, we're diving deep into your sources, especially this essay, because it offers such a unique perspective. We're exploring this powerful metaphor dance as a way to rethink reality, facts, and truth. And this essay from the Human and AI Educational Institute, it's actually part 2 of something larger. It builds on this idea of how these concepts connect, but also sometimes how they kind of misalign in interesting ways.
That misalignment piece is key, I think.
Totally. So our mission today for you listening is to really unpack this framework. We hope you'll find some surprising insights here about understanding the world and maybe yourself too, moving beyond just simple definitions.
Towards a richer appreciation, maybe?
Exactly. A deeper sense of what it means to be truly informed, truly connected. Think of this as, well, a shortcut to getting up to speed on something that weaves together philosophy and spirituality.
In a really captivating way, as you said.
So let's get into this central metaphor, the dance. The essay paints this picture of truth, facts, reality, all engaged in this poetic choreography, a living exploration. How does thinking about truth as a dance actually help us, especially when things feel so disconnected sometimes?
Well, it's a powerful lens because it helps us look, beneath the surface level. It starts to illuminate those gaps. We often miss the space between what's physically real, what's factually stated, and what resonates as, well, truth.
Okay.
And it really highlights how things like art, but also rigorous inquiry, how they can bridge our perception with that deeper understanding.
So it's not static, it's active.
Precisely. It's an ongoing process and unfolding, like any good dance.
Now, the source brings in this idea well, it's really intriguing. Truth, not just being about observable facts, but something deeper. It likens truth to an expressive dancer, interpreting the essence of existence. Can you unpack that a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So, drawing from this Baha'i perspective, particularly the teachings of Abdd'u'l-Baha, the idea is that truth is essentially a reflection of reality, but specifically spiritual reality.
Super reality, okay.
Think of it like this. A dancer's movement expresses an inner feeling, right?
Right.
In the same way, truth, in this view, reflects the reality of the soul. Facts might describe let's say, the body of a situation.
Okay, the structure.
Yes, but truth reveals its spirit, its essence. So reality isn't just what we touch and see, it's multi-layers.
And truth is the mirror to those layers.
Exactly. There's a line in the source that captures it beautifully. Truth is the melody, reality the stage, and facts the rhythm. The soul dances through them all.
Wow. That really paints a picture of how they work together. Melody, stage, rhythm.
It shows the interplay, doesn't it? How you need all those elements for the full performance.
So taking that further, how does this vision of a unified truth apply to, our messy world where truths seem to clash all the time? The essay mentions Abdd'u'l-Baha stating that truth is one and no one truth can contradict another. That feels challenging.
It does feel challenging from our usual perspective, definitely. But the dance metaphor helps reframe it. The insight here isn't that conflicting facts don't exist, but that genuine truth itself is unified. So conflict isn't truth fighting truth. It's more like a misstep in the choreography.
A misstep, okay.
Yeah, a moment of misalignment. Maybe our understanding of the facts is incomplete, or our dance move is out of sync with the deeper rhythm of reality.
So different dancers, different styles maybe, but they should harmonize.
Exactly. Think about scientific truth and spiritual truth. From this perspective, they aren't enemies. They're complementary ways of expressing the same underlying cosmic rhythm. Conflict comes from our limited view. Maybe misinterpretation, maybe ego getting in the way. Not from truth itself being divided.
So the goal is to move from chaos to symphony.
Precisely. Transforming chaotic improvisation into a kind of symphonic unity. That's the ideal.
Which leads perfectly into the next point.
Yeah.
This is where you, the listener, come in. The deep dive really stresses that you're not just watching this dance passively.
Absolutely not.
The source says truth needs independent investigation, free from prejudice, free from just copying what others say.
That's so central to this vision. The individual becomes, in a way, the choreographer of their own understanding.
The choreographer, I like that.
Yeah. You have to observe the dancers, the facts, the different claims to truth, the various aspects of reality. You have to listen to the music.
We'll get to the music later, yeah.
Right. Music of society, history, your own spirit. And then you compose your own movement towards understanding.
So it's active creation, not just taking things in.
Exactly. Guided by reason, but also, importantly, illuminated by faith. It really frames the search for truth as a practice, a living inquiry, not just accepting a pre-packaged performance.
And that brings us to reason and faith. How do they fit together in this dance?
Well, the source highlights Abdd'u'l-Baha's definition of faith, which is quite interesting. It's described as conscious knowledge and the practice of good deeds.
Conscious knowledge,
Yeah.
so not blind belief.
Not at all. It bridges intellect and spirit. In the dance metaphor, you could say reason is the technique.
Okay, the skill, the training.
Right, the trained body of the dancer, precise, logical. But faith is the intention, the soul behind the movement. It provides the meaning, the purpose.
Oh, so you need both.
You need both for the dance to be complete. Together, they create truth in motion, a choreography that's both technically sound, you could say, and spiritually resonant.
Precise and transcendent.
It's a great way to put it. It reflects the wholeness of truth that needs to be understood intellectually and felt embodied.
Which seems to lead towards the ultimate aim you mentioned. Harmony. Unity. How does pursuing truth this way independently, with reason and faith, actually bring people together? The source mentions removing veils, like superstition and prejudice.
It fundamentally shifts the dynamic.
Yeah.
The search for truth becomes less about winning an argument and more about contributing to a collective performance.
Not a collective performance.
Yeah. Imagine each person, each culture, each field of knowledge bringing their unique rhythm, their unique steps, but all moving towards a shared harmony, a shared understanding.
So the stage gets bigger.
The stage expands, exactly. It includes all of humanity, different religions, diverse cultures. The sciences each adding their part to this grand choreography of truth.
It sounds like moving from just exploring it yourself to a kind of universal communion.
That's the vision. Recognizing that underlying unity helps resolve the conflicts we see on the surface.
Okay, so we've talked about the dancer, truth, the stage reality, the rhythm, facts, the choreographer, the individual. But what about the music? You mentioned it earlier. If truth is the dancer, what's guiding the performance? What is this music?
Ah, yes, the music. It's a crucial part of the metaphor. And like you said, it's not literal sound.
Right.
It's more the sum total of all those invisible forces that shape our understanding and our actions. Think social pressures, cultural norms, spiritual insights, even our own psychological makeup.
So everything that influences us.
Pretty much. In the Baha'i vision presented here, this music connects deeply to spiritual reality, to that unity of faith and reason we discussed, and even to something the source calls the divine pulse.
The divine pulse.
Actually,
Like a guiding spiritual rhythm.
sort of, yes. A metaphor for divine guidance and human consciousness working together, setting the tempo for the dance of understanding.
Okay. And there was a quote about silence.
Yes, a very evocative one. The song is not in the notes, but in the silence between them.
What does that imply here?
It suggests that the deepest spiritual truths, the essence of the music, often aren't in the loud, obvious notes, the explicit facts or doctrines.
But in the pauses.
Exactly, in the spaces between. The moments of reflection, intuition, interconnection. That's where the deeper resonance is often found.
That makes sense. It's not just the explicit information, but okay. Beyond that spiritual resonance, what about the more, earthly tunes? The day-to-day soundtrack?
Oh, absolutely. The music draws heavily from society's tempo, too.
How so?
Well, think about traditions and social norms. They provide a kind of underlying rhythm, don't they? Sometimes steady, sometimes quite forceful, influencing which facts get highlighted.
Yeah.
And then you have art, stories, myths. They add melodies, emotional colors, shaping how we feel about certain truths or realities.
And the media education.
They're like the bass lines, broadcasting these persistent messages, often unconsciously, that form our baseline understanding of what's real or true.
Which, as the source asks, leads to the question. What happens when that societal music gets distorted? When it's all bass line and no melody, or just discordant?
Exactly. When the balance is lost, the dance becomes awkward, even harmful.
That's a really powerful image. The societal soundtrack is huge. But what about our internal music, our personal playlist, so to speak?
Yes, the psychological and emotional resonance, that's equally important. Just like a dancer's inner state affects their performance, the music of our inner lives shapes how we perceive the world.
Our memories, experiences.
Precisely. The beat of memory might make us focus on certain facts over others. The tempo of past trauma could color how we see reality now, or the crescendo of hope or longing might pull us towards certain truths.
It's the score of the soul, as the source puts it.
That's it. It determines which external music resonates with us, which facts we really hear, which reality feels most true to us personally.
It's quite profound when you think about how all these musical elements, cultural, spiritual, psychological, directly shape choreography, our actions, our understanding.
It really is. It's not just a neat analogy. It's showing a dynamic interplay that's happening all the time.
So just to bring it together, how do these different musical forces specifically affect the dance?
Well, you could say cultural myths set the main themes. Spiritual insight can elevate simple movements into moments of real grace or understanding.
Okay.
Emotional memory adds that texture, that personal interpretation to the steps. Rational thought provides the clear rhythm, the logical flow.
And societal tensions.
They might introduce syncopation, unexpected rhythms, or even dissonance, jarring notes. An urgent tempo, perhaps.
Until unity and love come in.
That's the hope, yes, that forces like unity and love can resolve that discord, smooth out the rhythm, and bring the whole performance back into a state of harmonic wholeness.
Wow. This whole deep dive using this dance metaphor, it really does invite you, the listener, to think about choreographing your life with more intention, doesn't it?
It really does.
It emphasizes that truth isn't some static thing you find and possess. It's more like a dance. Reflecting your soul, meeting both reason and heart, always moving towards connection, towards unity.
Seeking truth becomes about finding resonance, not just being right. Resonance within yourself and with the wider world.
So maybe a final thought for you to take away from this. If the music that guides this dance is this complex composition, centuries of faith, knowledge, suffering, hope, shaping every step we take towards understanding, how might consciously tuning in to your own inner music, maybe even listening to that silence between the notes, how might that transform your personal journey toward truth and maybe deepen your connection with everyone else in the dance?
Something to really reflect on.
Definitely something to think about.